All right, so we're going to use the City Builder Basics Wood Starter Mega Set to illustrate how these pieces work, but everything you learn here will be applicable to any of our City Builder Basics sets. So let's look at the pieces first. So the basic piece is the straight wall. It's got a 2x2 footprint with a 2-inch high wall, which is appropriate for most miniatures, 25, 28, even 32 millimeter scale. The factory finished pieces will be cast in Dwarvenite, which is our own proprietary, nearly indestructible PVC blend. These are homemade prototypes, so they're hand-cast resin, so there's some imperfections, but the factory finals that you'll get will be like this dungeon piece, indestructible Dwarvenite, and they will have anchor magnets on the bottom. So if you want to build on our metal terrain trays, the anchor magnets will stick to the terrain trays, keep pieces from sliding around, and you can fly your builds in and out, and it's good for multi-level building. So this is our the basic straight wall. We have the window wall, which has the exact same geometry, but it has a square window cut into it. This square window is the same size as any of our City Builder system square windows, so you can use any of our window inserts. So you could put something like this boarded up insert in there. Window insert changes the look, changes the feel. Now there's a game effect. It's blocked. Maybe they could break through. It says, well, maybe there's something behind there you shouldn't see. So you can decorate out your windows. We also have the door wall. Same 2x2 geometry footprint. It has the rustic wood door in there. The door will be hinged in the final. These prototypes are not hinged, but it'll be hinged, so you can open and close it to indicate the state of the door. We have a corner, which is the same as the wall, but has a 90-degree angle wall there, 2x2 footprint, and the like. And then we have our 2x2 floor, which is just a flat 2x2. This one has corner post holes in the corners so that it works with our full-blown City Builder system. If you want to put the corner posts from that and narrow walls in this, you can use this to create walls, corners, even like a little outhouse and the like. All of these pieces have slots on the sides for our flat biscuit pegs. So you can use our biscuit system with these. You can peg them together for multi-level building. Generally, with single-story building, you don't need to peg them together, but you're welcome to if you'd like to. Oh, all the pieces have a 1-inch grid sculpted into them. The grid is offset by a 1/2 inch, so it gives us more space, more playable space inside a room. So essentially, the 1/2 inch where the wall is dead, and then the squares start there. So you can see the center square, and then everything is half squares, and these little breaks on here indicate the corners. So in practice, in a large build, you see the center squares there, and then in between are the half squares, and they come together to make a second square. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. So lots of playable space. It should be pretty clear on the table. If not, you can point it out to the players, and then you can usually orient yourself by the clear squares and then figure out where the squares on either side of them are. When building with the pieces, generally just slide stuff right up against each other. You line the walls up with the walls and the floors up with the floors, and it should build pretty smoothly and quickly. I tend to build a perimeter of the room first, and then I will fill in with floors once I figure out my shape. And there's no wrong way to do it. Mostly you can just sort of play until you have something that feels good for the story that you are trying to tell. This Wood Starter Mega Set also has a few extra pieces beyond the 2x2s that we should look at. So it has the velvet curtain, this freestanding curtain in our green velvet paint scheme. So this thing freestands pretty much anywhere. So you could also put it in your dungeon, your cavern, or anywhere that you like. It is the exact same height as the walls. So in this case, you can use it just on a floor to work as a doorway, separate rooms, and then it's easy to move it or remove it if players pass through or if they tear it down or something. You can also use several of them to freestand in a room if you want to partition off an area of your room, like a VIP area, or hide something behind it. You can do that. You can use it to just decorate up your walls to make a decorative area space. It's a really nice splash of color in your build, and it's versatile. You can put it anywhere you want. We also have this freestanding trapdoor. So the frame will have a magnet in the bottom there, so it'll stick against our magnetic walls or our magnetic roofs, so you can put it as a chute on the wall, and you can just freestand it on a floor anywhere, and it's an easy transition down into the cellar or the sewers or the dungeon, perhaps. The trapdoor is operable, so you can pop it into sitting in an upright position. You can remove it and swap it out with any of our small trapdoor pieces, or you could even just use it on its own without the frame if you wanted, and use the frame for something else. But this is a great way to put a transition anywhere you want in your build. And speaking of transitions, we have the stairs have a baked-in half biscuit, so they can stick into the biscuit slot on the side of the pillar. These are the same height as the walls, so you can transition up to the same height. And you can use them with or without the stairs, so they become just pillars that you can drop into your room if you want, or use it with the stairs, or you can use them to support a second story if you're doing some multi-level building. So let's look at a little multi-level building. So fundamentally, if you wanted to, let's say we want to cover this up, we want to do a second story right here. So this is a 2x3. So I'm going to take these 6 City Builder basic pieces, and I'm going to biscuit them together and pop up here. So you take the biscuits, you insert them into the sides of your pieces and stick them together, and they will stick together. And then we can put the whole thing together, and we'll be able to lift it off as one unit. It's easy to move it around. Generally, I don't biscuit things together until I get to the very end of the build. I'm really sort of confident in what I'm doing. I tend to like to tweak and move the pieces around a bit as I go, so I don't want to lock everything together. But in this case, we are doing a nice small little upper room, so we should be confident that we can lock it all in and see what happens. All right, so you can snap it all together, and now we can fly this around as one solid unit. These prototypes, the biscuit holes are slightly off, so things aren't lining up quite as nicely as they will with the factory finished, but it is functional. You get the idea. So now we can just pop this right on top of that other room, and we have a nice second story. If we want to get up there, let's use our stairs and stair pillar. And then you can also use this to hide stuff beneath and reveal. So maybe you keep this here until the players want to go through this curtain, see what's there, and then boom, they reveal the room, and oh, there is a secret trapdoor waiting for them to discover. You could also use the stair pillars to support if you were hanging it off in the middle of the room, nothing else. Or you could take, if you take one of these pillars and a floor, they're the same height as a wall, and do something like that, suspend something off the back to how to do it. Mostly with these pieces, you just sort of play around and have fun with them till you find a build that is that feels like it's going to help tell the story that you're looking to tell. And these sets work really well in multiples. So the more pieces you have in hand, the more options you have. You could easily put 2 or 3 of these sets together and then do some really interesting multi-level builds and have a couple of floors of your tavern all built out at the same time. But however you do it, there's no wrong way to play with this City Builder Basics. I hope this inspires you and gives you an idea of what you can do with the City Builder Basics.